Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Apocalypse Movies, and this time we are here for a Creed 2 spoiler discussion. We're going to be here taking a little bit of time breaking down the latest Rocky movie from director Stephen Caple Jr., starring Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, and a quite big cast that is quite remarkable as well at the same time. I'm your host, Jake Blinn, and I am joined today by Brian Avlicino and Keith Barnes. We have obviously all seen the film. And so we're going to be here taking about 15 to 20 minutes talking about it in spoiler style, not holding back. So if you have not seen the movie, I would definitely bookmark this. Yeah, don't watch this or listen to this, but bookmark this, come back to it if you have seen it. If you don't care about spoilers, you're more than welcome to watch it, but we are going to spoil some things for the movie and possibly what they're going to go for in the future as well. So with that said, let's get right into this, boys. Real quick, just kind of overall thoughts. I gave my thoughts on our spoiler review with Jacob. Him and I took about 12 to 15 minutes, kind of talked about it as quick as we possibly could, even though there's a lot of stuff in this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's one of my favorites of the year so far. It is one of the better sequels I've seen in recent memory. And so my thoughts are out there in the world, but just real quickly, a few sentences. What do you guys think of Creed 2?
You want me to rile the feathers in the beginning?
Go for it, dude.
I think this is the best Rocky and Creed movie out of all of them combined.
Wow.
That's not crazy. I was kind of thinking like it's the two Creed movies are at the top of the list of Rocky films.
For you?
Yes.
They're not for me, but they're top,
not
top
like
3 or 4.
That's what I mean. They're in the top.
Yeah. I'd probably put like Rocky 1.
Yes.
And then it's a toss up between Rocky 2 and Creed.
I might put Creed ahead of Rocky 2.
And then Creed 2's 4.
Yeah,
for me.
It's at top 4 for sure.
Yeah, it's what they're doing with this franchise is incredible.
Crazy.
It's incredible.
Without Ryan Coogler, that was going to be my big thing. Was like I'm really gonna. I thought I'd really miss Ryan Coogler. I kind of did. I still miss Coogler, but
see, I stupidly didn't realize that Coogler wasn't directing it. I literally thought he was the one doing it. So at the end of it, when you and our buddy was talking about it, I was like, wait, what? Coogler didn't do this?
So Stephen Caple Jr., just a little backstory. He went to film school with Coogler, and Coogler actually got him the job. And
so he's a Sac State guy?
No, he's not a Sac State guy. They went to school down south.
USC.
And USC.
Oh, he did go to USC.
Remember,
he
dropped
That's
out
right.
of Sac State to
That's
play
right.
football to go to USC.
That's right.
And so he found out Coogler was going to do. He's going to do Black Panther. I was watching an interview of his. He just got a call at random, and they called Coogler's like, "Bro, you couldn't let me know that this was happening." Blah blah blah. So Coogler basically recommended him for the job. So they're buddies of past, and I thought it was absolutely perfect that he directed.
Yeah.
I know that Stallone was originally supposed to direct. I'm glad they didn't go that route because it would have been so different
100%.
from what Coogler was doing. And Caple Jr. Was able to keep what Coogler did with the first one, but stamp his own style on it. But like Keith kind of mentioned a little bit, there are moments where you do miss the Cooglerisms, specifically before the desert montage and before the final fight. The fights before that, you miss that like Coogler feel to it, like the intensity in a way.
Yes.
And I don't get me wrong, like when Adonis won the championship against Wheeler in the beginning, I got chills. Like I felt the chills, but there was also something missing that Coogler was able to stamp on with that first movie.
Agreed. I felt like in watching in that scene in particular, when he won, like you said, it seemed like there wasn't as much of a you didn't feel if you've seen the first one, obviously you know that moment. What a big moment that was because he knocked him out when they were sparring in the first one. But if you hadn't seen that and you're just watching this movie, it didn't feel as if it was as big a moment for Adonis as it actually
and it
was.
came back later in the movie when he told his mom, "Why don't I feel like a champion?" It did come back.
Yeah.
But we should have felt it as audience
That may have been
members,
intentional, so yeah,
like a
but
little
I
bit
agree.
differently.
Yeah, I just felt kind of like, all right, yeah, well, I won, And Tessa Thompson, she was like, "You know what you just did?"
Yeah, exactly.
She just did.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the sense she was in that moment.
Yes.
And I felt like we should all be kind of like I'm not getting that sense, and maybe like you said, maybe that was intentional because he
didn't feel that way.
it.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Yeah.
So kind of bouncing off of that point.
It's funny because how you said that, to me, I took it more as like he felt like he didn't get like that. You know, like in every movie where there's someone that wants revenge for killing the person and then they end up killing them and they're like, oh, it didn't complete me. Like that's kind of how I felt.
In a way.
Like,
In a way, and they kept referencing.
yeah.
They kept referencing how Wheeler was 3 years. Adonis fought him 3 years too late, and he was slower, and like that type of stuff. So maybe they were referencing it in other ways that made us feel, or should have made us feel like, oh, maybe it wasn't supposed to be that impactful. But kind of bouncing off that a little bit. Let's just talk about the fight scenes overall. I like the
Fantastic.
fight scenes in this movie better than the first one. I do.
Fantastic.
I agree.
I think the choreography and how not the camera work, because I do like the camera work a little bit better with Coogler, but the
Agreed.
fight scenes overall were a lot better in this one, just because they felt
brutal.
A lot more
real.
brutal. That's the word I was
They
looking for.
felt
Yeah.
very real.
Brutal.
It felt like we were watching an HBO fight on the big screen.
Yeah.
Every single time he got punched in the ribs and his rib broke.
Yeah,
like,
the crack. Yeah.
You
Oh,
feel
The audience,
That's
the
awful,
audience
man.
was just going, ah.
Or when you get, anytime one of them takes it to the jaw, it
Yeah.
looks so real. You're like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, when he's fighting Victor Drago, there's moments when they're going back and forth, and it's just hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's like really hard to watch. And what was cool about this too, and I don't know about your screening, Keith, but at the end of our screening, when Adonis knocked out Victor, or was knocking him out, and he threw the towel in, which we'll get to, people were cheering.
Big thing in the crowd.
It was
Yeah,
like
same
literally
here.
watching
Yeah.
a fight,
Yeah.
like big time.
Yeah.
Oh, I did a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught myself holding my breath a couple times.
Yes, same here.
Holy crap! Like, is he gonna actually like
Yeah.
do it? Who's gonna win this fight? Like, I loved not like you for the Rocky films for the most part. You kind of like, in my opinion, knew who was gonna win that fight. Going into this one, I was like, I have no idea who's gonna end up this fight because I emotionally felt so like attached to the Dragos, like for like the whole like history that I'm like, you know what, like I really freaking want Creed to win, but if Drago wins, I'm not gonna feel like horrible, and that's how I felt throughout the whole time. But then again, like you said, once Creed does it, you're like, oh yes, you're like hell yes.
Yeah, and it's a pretty great moment, and we'll get to the moment, but just to kind of hint at it for later. But that moment between him and Rocky at the end was absolutely fantastic. But kind of going off Brian's point here, let's talk about the Dragos a little bit.
They're fantastic.
It picks up directly with them in the beginning of the movie. We see Ivan Drago. We find out they're kind of living in the slums of Ukraine, and he lost his name, he lost his country, and him and his son. He lost his wife, and him and his son are fighting, and they're kind of waiting their time to get Adonis on top. Like that was the whole goal. They've been waiting around for
That
Adonis to be
sneaky
champ.
The promotion guy, he
Yeah.
was the real villain. Of
Yeah,
the whole time.
Buddy
Yeah.
Marcel. Buddy Marcel was his name.
Yeah.
So, which that guy, he plays a lot of small roles, but he's really good in those small roles. But yeah, the Dragos, man, it's done great. It could have ended up being really, really cheesy and campy, bringing them back, and kind of just been like, oh, like that isn't
Like
cool.
Rocky
Like,
IV.
yeah, well, it could have been just like a wash over in a way, but it was, as far as character wise, some of the most intriguing stuff in the movie.
It made the movie to me. Because I felt like I was watching two stories
Yes.
that pulled equally on the heartstrings, and you felt for both of them at the end. Like, I was literally sitting there like, is there going to be like a tie? Like, can they tie at the end? Like,
I mean,
there can-
yeah,
they
there can be a draw.
but it's
Draw,
like
yeah.
that's not going to be satisfying. But I don't know who I want to win.
Well, and
because,
then they'd
like,
have to fight again. Too.
Yeah,
So I thought about that.
Yeah,
So
which may end up happening.
Maybe.
who knows? I don't know. It almost felt like there was going to be like a team up movie at the end, which
I'm glad you
that's
said
a whole
that.
different thing.
We'll hold that
You
thought.
said
Hold
that.
that thought.
But I loved them. When Brigitte Nielsen's character comes in, the wife,
Stunner.
I like gasped.
'Cause
Like
It
I
was
was
shocking.
Yeah.
It was shocking. It was a great way to kind of bring
shock.
the whole thing forward.
Because she doesn't act. She hasn't been acting for. She had
Yeah.
that reality show with
Yeah.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
But that's it. She hasn't been
Like, she
acting
does
for
all
years.
like her like the Swedish and Denmark stuff. I was actually reading up on it because I was
Okay.
like, was that actually her?
Yeah.
Like I was
I
still
know.
stunned afterwards. But she didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
The presence and like the stone face
Yeah.
she gave off, like that made it, and then it even pulled harder on the son emotions.
Well, and that's
a great scene,
that's a
too,
testament
man.
to Cable Jr. and just capturing that moment and,
Yes.
and letting because his name is Florian, who plays Victor Drago, and I don't know his last name. He's
It's
a
like
fighter.
100 words
Yeah,
long.
he's a
Letters.
fighter.
Yeah.
He's not an actor,
Yeah.
and he had to do certain things to capture certain moments with him, and the look in his eyes and the face, specifically when Ivan Drago says that's why she left us, and his look, it's for not being an actor and as a director capturing something like that, it's pretty remarkable. And so I love the moments that they were able to create with the actors and actresses that they brought back, especially the Dragos. But
Before we move on with that, did you know she wasn't originally in the script? Because she's Stallone's ex-wife,
Yeah.
and so
Makes sense.
the director asked him for permission to call her
that makes sense.
and have her come to. And the second she heard it, she was like, "I'm there."
Oh,
And
cool.
That makes
I guess-
100% sense.
And
That's
I guess
cool.
it was water under the bridge, and like
Sure.
they said that her doing that scene changed the whole entire
Yeah,
like
yeah, definitely.
feel of the movie.
Definitely, because
Yeah.
Stallone did the first draft, and so it makes sense not to have his ex-wife in the draft.
Yeah, makes sense.
But because Cable Jr., he had to, and we talked about this in our little review, but he not only had to do a sequel to Coogler's Creed and continue what Creed was doing, but he had to do a sequel to the entire Rocky franchise.
Rocky.
And like there was so
Essentially,
much.
Rocky 4. This is like a
Yeah,
sequel
and
to
there
Rocky
was
4.
so
Which
much
is
that he had
arguably
to
like
do.
one of the more popular.
Oh yeah,
ones.
It is.
it definitely
People-
is.
it's
By
one of the
many
most
people,
beloved,
it's,
Yeah,
it's one of the more
I mean,
popular ones.
it might honestly be my favorite of all the Rocky.
I still think I may like Rocky 2 a little bit, but you know,
The first one.
the first one is the
Nothing
classic,
better than
but
the
that second one, man. On a side note, did you guys know that it's the anniversary today of the Fight 2 from Rocky 2?
Oh really?
Yeah,
Really?
Wow.
it is. Yeah,
Wow.
I saw it earlier. So what a
crazy, yeah.
coincidence.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
But anyway, let's talk a little bit about performances a little bit. So Michael B. Jordan obviously crushes everything
that's
in this
He's-
film.
He is untouchable.
He's one of my favorites. He is one of my favorites. Everything he's doing, I don't care what he does. He's so good, and he has made this franchise his. It is Adonis Creed's story. It is his story. He has made that character, and it's the playoff of Rocky and Sylvester Stallone. Stallone got an Oscar nom for Creed a few years ago. He won't get one for this one, but he's equally as good in this movie. The role just didn't call for as much as it did in the first one.
His presence was felt even though he wasn't really
Yes,
there.
because of the
That's what-
situations that arose with them, the squashing and them not seeing eye to eye on certain things and going away for a little bit.
Yeah.
That moment in the hospital was so hard to watch
Oh,
when he
yeah.
walked in and Adonis was like, "Why are you still here? Get the hell out of here!"
That was like one of the scenes where you saw Michael B. Jordan just kill it.
Yeah.
Because it felt real.
Yeah,
Like, that
yeah.
was like
Well, and
something
they
that
have
you
a
would
great
seen.
relationship off screen too. So it definitely that's why it probably felt so real to us because it was real.
Yeah, and his the relationship, they didn't even have to really like touch into it, but like his mom's really kind of like
Yeah.
reaching out to
Yeah.
him and like
Because there was definitely some bridges burned between them two in the past.
did they
as
even
well.
talk? I don't think they even talked to each
Yeah,
other.
they did.
Yeah,
At the
in the-
hospital.
in the
At the
hospital.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right, that's
When
right.
his baby was being born.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, like I enjoyed that he kind of took a step back because it again pushed Michael B. Jordan's character to the forefront of this is a Creed movie,
Well,
not
and
a Rocky
I think that's the
franchise.
entire point of it because at the end we see when Rocky says it's your time now.
Mm-hmm.
They give the fist bump and then he sits down. But not only does he sit down and watch, it's Creed on his back. It's not Rocky on his back. And so there's a shifting of the guard. It's now Adonis Creed's story. Rocky is officially the Mickey of it all, which could end up meaning bad things if they ever do a sequel.
I think we'll have bad
he's-
things in the next
yeah,
one.
so which will be pretty heartbreaking to watch. But everyone in this film is remarkable. I think that Dolph Lundgren,
fantastic.
he didn't have very many lines in Rocky 4. He had a lot more in this movie. He did a
Yeah.
great job.
He actually
What a
spoke.
great
he was
job.
Great. He's actually he's pretty good in just about anything.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
on
he
Arrow
usually plays like
recently.
those
He's
villain
kinda-
bad
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
and-
yeah, yeah.
Every time he went, break him. or something like that. I was
yeah.
oh!
Well, the scene between him and Rocky in the diner.
That was-
that was good.
Yeah.
That was
Little
great.
jelly, I was like,
yeah.
wow.
He's
Two
dark,
facing
man.
off
at
Well,
the same
he
time.
points to Apollo. He's like, great picture.
Yeah.
Like he still has the hate.
No pictures of me.
Yeah, he still has the hate
pictures of me.
towards them
And
all.
then I got chills. The scene where he goes, when Rocky goes, that was a lifetime ago, and he goes, to me it felt like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
This is really
Like,
good.
Yeah,
Really,
he's
really
been
good.
holding on it for what 30 years or
Yeah.
whatever it is, and
Because
so
it ruined his life.
He had to banish to the
You have
Ukraine.
to
and
live it every
having to-
single day.
man,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
And when you think back to Rocky 4, and I was trying to remember, I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater when I was a kid, but for it being in Moscow, and obviously during the height of the Cold War, and like in that film, I mean, the whole country was like
yeah, behind
Oh,
him,
yeah.
on his
Behind
shoulders,
him,
and
yeah.
it was so they put a lot on it.
especially in the 80s because it was boxing was so big.
Yeah.
Boxing was so
Yeah,
big.
yeah. So for him, that feeling of disgrace and stuff, I mean, you really, it was sad, and it led me to thinking, and I'm glad you kind of touched on this a second ago, but I wish they had, if in an alternate universe, if I was running this franchise, I would have been telling the story of Victor Drago.
I know. I was left wanting it.
And I would have had two of those movies
Yeah.
of his redemption, or the rise of his son, and the redemption
Just
of
two going and
if
then
I'm
meeting it.
yeah, and then
Oh,
Like Kong
God.
versus
and then
like Kong
bring it
versus
together.
Godzilla.
Yes, that would be great. That would have been
be
awesome.
nuts.
Because I was
Oh,
thinking,
movie universes.
yes, yes. Because listen, hey, sometimes they can work if everybody can't be an MCU obviously, but this is one I think would have been pretty good because I felt like this isn't a negative, but it just felt I've always felt that since they announced this movie. Or what it was going to be about was that this was a little too soon. As good as it was, as great as it was, but I thought it was a little early to go to the Drago thing.
It
We knew it
feels-
was coming as soon as Creed came out.
Yeah.
we're like, he's going to have to
I
fight.
I
Drago's
think
son.
they did that because I think that the franchise has a short lifespan. Because here's the
Yeah.
thing: the movie ended with,
6 Rocky movies.
but the movie ended.
They're
It could
not-
easily be a franchise closer.
Yeah.
With the way it ended.
I felt like this would have been a third movie.
Yes, I felt the same way.
That's like I felt like, which is no bad thing to give you back to back good movies, but now I'm left wanting a third. Going, where the hell are they going to go with it?
Well, here's
And
the
top this last one.
yeah. I mean, maybe
That's a good point. I
maybe
mean-
they wanted to catch fire and just do it as quick as possible because they don't know if they're doing a third.
That might be true.
Maybe they only sign off for 2, or Sylvester Stallone's like, I got 2 stories in me, or Michael B. Jordan's like, I got 2 movies, or
Yeah.
But they could easily go. Pretty Ricky Conley can get out of jail and come back, and he could fight him as the champ. He can come back,
I didn't know that.
which could end up being a cool storyline. Rocky could end up getting cancer and passing away in the next movie, which
I
would be
think
another
it's
thing
gonna
to happen. So there's definitely somewhere to go, but I can also see this ending being a definitive ending to
Yeah.
the entire thing because he found his son. He went to his son, patching things up there.
Another surprise is Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah,
showing
which
up
he
this
was
movie,
in
which is
Rocky
great.
Balboa.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
And so
I didn't see that.
Adonis and Bianca and their daughter, they go see Apollo at the graveyard.
Yeah.
Ivan is running with his son. They're on good terms as well. And so it can definitely end, but I still want to see a third one,
Me too.
obviously.
Me too. Yeah, listen, I say as long as they're good, keep making them. The same thing with Mission Impossible. Like
And I will say
keep
this,
making them. They're
Cable
good.
Jr. said that if they came calling, he would do it again.
Yeah, good.
So.
yeah,
And as he should, because
Yeah.
he nailed it. That montage scene.
Well,
Excellent.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that real quick because that desert scene.
I think that was the best montage scene out of every
Yes,
single.
think
I
I
100% agree.
100%
And
agree,
I told
yeah.
Brian this as soon as I walked out of the first showing I went to. I'm 100% asking for a punching bag for Christmas because of that.
I told my wife
I
to
want to work out like
Yeah.
Adonis Creed.
yeah.
Yes,
I will
I'm
go.
the same
I will
way.
go
I'm not
set
even
it up
kidding.
in the desert or
Absolutely.
somewhere, and I will work
I'd
out.
love
like
to do
it.
all
I'll
that.
get a jackhammer, go in the dirt. Like I
Yeah.
will do it all.
Yeah.
100%.
Punch
It
tires.
was fantastic.
Like that whole sequence.
I loved it.
It starts off with like this classic music, right? He's struggling to kind of do his thing, to run behind the car, and then as soon as he gets up, that rap music kicks in. You're like, oh, game on! Like
Yeah.
you're starting
Yeah.
to get going. Punches are being thrown.
When they have the 1 foot in the tire and the
Dude,
body.
that's an
I love that.
insane.
I was like,
thing.
oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I love how they called it hell, and,
Yeah.
and he's like, if you're going to hell, you might as well get used to it over
yeah.
this. And so the montages were definitely cool. And then
Yeah.
earlier we see the Victor Drago montage where he's doing his thing before the first fight, and he's doing those push-ups with
That
the
thing
ropes.
with the ropes.
Dude.
insane. That guy
ridiculous.
is when he smacks his two gloves together.
Oh, that sound?
It's,
Yeah.
that
It's
sound
deafening. It's
was
oh my god, it's
ridiculous.
crazy.
Can I hit one thing that I've been wanting to? How telling is it at the end? I thought it was probably the most meaningful part of the movie that Drago was the one that threw in the towel.
Yes.
Oh, it had to be.
Yes.
It had to be.
It was-
It absolutely
that
had
was
to be.
great.
Like, it has so many different meanings to
Yes.
it. The fact that Rocky's been living like this like nightmare of the fact that he could have saved him, it could have killed him, and now it's like it was in role reversal. Like it blew my
Well,
mind.
and the fact that
when
it's
he did
this is you see that moment where he knows this is my son.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love that at the end because he goes to his son and says it's okay.
Yes.
it's okay.
Yes.
That was
It was
probably
Great.
the best
It
moment.
was
of the movie
really,
for me.
really, really
that
good.
I almost like went and got like a
Yeah.
little weepy.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
emotional because we have a connection to this franchise. And
Yeah.
I know you've only watched them in the last couple months, but
Oh yeah, I'm like 2
you're-
months seeing
yeah,
everything.
and and Keith and I have a long connection, but either way, just from Rocky 4 to this, the way the character arc and how Drago came back around and how they kind of set up, and also how it was shot because it looked like he was walking away.
Yes,
And then
and
That's what I
Rocky
thought, too.
and
And then
Rocky
you-
Rocky looks at him.
And then you see him climbing up, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
I
actually
thought
happening.
that too. I was like,
yeah.
wow.
It was a really good role reversal,
Yeah.
and how it
Yes.
was kind of shot. It was great.
Because I thought that same thing. I was like, wow, he's really gonna walk
Yeah.
away from his son like
Yeah.
that. And they did that, and I was like, wow, that was even.
I
more
thought the
powerful.
two things I thought would happen, whereas as were happening, because you see the shot of Rocky turning to look at him like, dude, you gotta,
Yeah.
I thought that Adonis was gonna go to that edge
So did I. So did I.
of getting ready to,
Yeah.
like
And that's
like
probably
Luke,
what
like
he
Luke
saw.
Skywalker against, like yeah.
And
And I
that's
wonder if that's what,
What
yeah,
made
right.
it even like more?
Maybe a
Because
little
I was thinking that
flashback
same
of-
thing.
yeah.
I was like, if he ends up killing his
That's
son,
what I thought was gonna
holy
happen.
crap!
And then I thought, and I was expecting Rocky to go to one of them. I saw him look at Victor or
Ivan.
and I thought he was going to go to him like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
you got to."
I even crossed my mind thinking, holy shit, is he going to throw in the towel because he's afraid that he's gonna kill Drago's
yeah, right,
kid?
right.
But then I was like, there's no way
Yeah.
that he's gonna end this fight. But I love that scene to me.
Great, yeah.
Was
That whole sequence of them fighting,
The
the,
most
the
whole fight.
back and forth, it was blow for blow, and it felt absolutely real,
Yeah.
and it was definitely some of the best stuff in the entire franchise, if not the best. And it's
this is making me want to go see it again.
yeah,
yeah,
I
It's
am
making
so
me wanna
down to go
see it again, and it makes me want to start punching and hitting the ground.
Yeah. Oh, that scene where he gets up and he's punching the ground.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's
Oh my
it's
God.
so good. Real quick, because we didn't touch on this, and it's a major plot point. But were you guys happy with how they did the disqualification of Drago and him not
Yes.
winning the
Yeah.
belt?
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. I completely
Perfect.
agree.
Yes.
It wasn't cliche, and he didn't lose the belt and then have to win it again.
Right.
He was disqualified. He still has the belt, but he has to overcome.
and yet
the
he still
fear.
felt like a
That's-
loss.
Yes,
I-
exactly.
If he would have won it and then taken it back,
It was too similar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Too similar.
It would have been too.
Yeah.
But okay,
And obvious.
there's
Yes.
one thing that I got chills and was almost jumped up was when Tessa Thompson's character, right before the last fight,
You better
opens-
win.
She sings.
When she
Oh,
sings,
That was
yes.
great,
the
right?
whole,
when
the
she
walkout.
sings
Yeah.
the walkout,
Yeah, the
where
spotlight is
it's
her.
like the comet
Yeah.
goes, and then it's her.
Yes, that was
and
great.
Oh my!
That
I'm
was
getting
great.
chills talking.
Did,
about it.
That was
did
great.
you guys hear what she was saying in the song too?
It was yeah.
It was
Yes.
war.
Yeah.
Going to
Yeah.
war. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. And so
that got me so.
Yeah.
hyped.
feeding
that
off
was
that,
awesome.
we got about 2 minutes here. Just real quickly, the relationship between Adonis and Bianca.
Amazing.
They've got the best on-screen
Amazing.
chemistry. I can't. And they're such good friends in real life, but
Yeah.
I can't even think
So
of
good.
anyone. They're
So good.
Gosh, yeah.
They're
It-
amazing.
Two, and they're both the two of them. We talked about Michael B. Jordan. Tessa Thompson's another one where she's just
Everything
top-
she does. Everything
top-
she does.
top notch in everything.
Everything she
Everyone
does.
killed it in this movie. There was not one person that dragged this movie down.
Yeah.
It's
Everyone
very,
was
it's
great.
very hard for me to say, but I like Adonis and Bianca's relationship more than Rocky and Adrian's.
100%
Oh,
agree.
100%.
It's
100%
very
agree.
hard for me to say because of what Rocky and Adrian's relationship was. Obviously,
It was very sweet.
Adrian, we did like
Oh,
that type of
Adrian's
stuff,
very
but,
shy and very.
but this
kinda-
relationship,
so
how
real.
Adonis
Yes.
needs her,
Yes.
and then the final line before the
and
final
she's
fight
losing
where
her hearing.
well,
Like,
that
that's-
and when she turns to him and says, "You better win."
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that is the epitome of the entire relationship.
It is so
and
real.
it's so just the chemistry between them is and it's remarkable. And the stuff they put them through in this movie
Honestly, I think
is really good.
Honestly, I think their characters and them together are some of the best couple.
Well, we
I've
have
seen
there's so
I agree.
many couple actors and actresses that act on screen together. We could see plenty of stuff for them in a long for a very, very long time, whether it's Creed or something else.
They were awesome.
Yeah. So that's gonna wrap up our Creed 2 spoiler discussion. Try to dive in as much as possible. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in this movie, obviously. But if you have seen Creed 2, we warned you at the beginning. This is a spoiler discussion, so hopefully nothing was ruined for you.
Told you the whole movie.
But head down in the comments. Let us know what you thought of the movie. Did you like it as much as we did? Where does it rank among your franchise? Head down there, leave some thoughts, and we will definitely get back to you. Thank you for joining us on our Creed 2 spoiler discussion. Hit that subscribe button as always. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.